Hello fellow Star Wars fans, my name is Starrapter. I'm so happy that you could join me for another video where I break down the latest in the Star Wars comics on October 30th, 2024. So we have two, one from Dark Horse, one from Marvel, jumping back in chronological order to the High Republic. This is Phase 3. This one is the High Republic Adventures, number 11, Return to Valo, written of course by the illustrious Daniel Jose Older, with Kaya Felipe, who I believe it's the first time they are doing a Star Wars comic. The artwork for us, so pretty cool stuff there. This one is all about the character of Gavi. Gavi was introduced in the book written by DJO and Alyssa Wong called Escape from Valo. This is a Jedi character, a young Jedi boy left on Valo after Ram Jamaram, who fled the planet. This is in the occlusion zone, this planet, mind you. He is trying to keep the occlusion zone, this planet, like under the pretense that it was captured and held by the Nile, even though the Nile aren't there. He is the leader of the Scarlet Skulls, or at least the person he's playing as the Scarlet Skulls, which are these murderous children that have been lost in infamy for 100 years. They're renowned for this crazy hijinks and whatnot. So anyway, he has this little team. Turns out that the Nile go there with the Warden himself, and he has to quickly think on his feet and say, oh yeah, we are actually Nile and we're deep undercover with the resistance here on Valo. So there's all this cool stuff going with Gavi. Meanwhile, you have Ram Jamaram, who goes back to Iriadu to talk to his friends Lula and Zed Morala, inciting help to go and help fight on Valo. So he gets Farzala, and he ends up being on the Grim Devourer number 2, which is a ship that's run by pirates. One of them is familiar to those of the Solo fans out there in the crowd. That is Therm Scissor Punch from Phase 2 has returned. This is a long-lived species of a crustaceous period, crustaceous type creature in Star Wars. It's really cool to see him back. So you have Farzala, you have Ram Jamaran, you even have this little character named Zyle, who's also from Escape from Valo. He is a young, or they, I believe, are a young Zabrak, basically dual-wielding, cool little person, right? It's a cool character. They are boarding a Nile ship, which actually used to be, it's the Starhopper, right? This is that, or whatever it's called, the ship that Yoda was on with the kids in the first phase. They're trying to take that ship back. Meanwhile, you also have the stuff that's going on Valo, which they're trying to keep undercover and have this big riot that's taking it over from the Nile. A lot's going on there. The two-pronged attack is great. And you actually see the Warden smile. Gavi makes the Warden smile. It reminds me of the relationship between Crix Camerat and Markion Rowe for Phase 1. That's kind of the energy I'm getting for this. And we're seeing Dern. Dern is the Mune, who you might think he's, Plagueis, but I don't think he is, even though he is technically Force sensitive. So a lot happened, a lot of new characters introduced, but that was a fun book. Next up, we have the Battle of Jakku, Insurgency Rising, issue number 3. This one's called Deadly Alliances, written, of course, by Alex Segura, with artwork by Leonard Kirk, as well as Jethro Morales. Oh my gosh, look at this cover by Phil Noto. Amazing. Looks like something from a Drew Stusion poster or whatever, but really love this one. We pick up right where we left off. Kes Dameron, we have Jarek Yaeger, all these guys that were trying to scout out this iron blockade to see if it was legit. And it was. And they were beset upon by Zeva Bliss, who is the mother of Zori Bliss that we see in Rise of Skywalker. So we have a lot of stuff going on there. They end up basically going in an escape pod before capture and detonating their ship to just cause mass havoc to the Spice Runners of Kijimi, who are now in league with Adelhard. Meanwhile, we catch up with Adelhard. He is speaking with the Obscura woman, who is part of the Acolytes of Beyond. They are Force-sensitive, Force-aligned group of the dark side that worship the Emperor, that worship Darth Vader, that want to keep balance in the Force. So they're on there talking with Adelhard. Meanwhile, we have Alacia, who is still kind of suspicious of what's happening, Lieutenant Alacia. We also have this nice going back and forth between Luke and Leia on Chandrila, right? This is the birth planet of the New Republic there with Mon Mothma. Getting reports from the spies. There's this one guy named that's Troon, who is an officer. There's a Troon that is in Poe Dameron Freefall, so I don't know if this is the father of the young officer that we see that's, you know, in league with Poe Dameron in those early years, so it's cool there. The big thing in this is we have an Inquisitor show up. So basically what happens is Kes Dameron and the crew, they are recovered by the Imperials in their escape pod, brought back to the Star Destroyer. Alacia actually frees them, right? So she is a double agent, and it's pretty cool to see that happening here. But as soon as they get out, we have the big dude in the Plague Trooper armor, Commander Bragg, I believe his name is, just straight up sucker punches Kes Dameron, knocks him down. And that's when the Inquisitor comes in to slash up one of the members there. But that's not before we see the page of hope with Luke Skywalker coming in to save the day, and that's where we leave off. But that was my biggest gripe, is because the way it's constructed in this comic is we see a hooded figure of an Inquisitor all in black. Then we see a hooded figure that is Luke Skywalker all in black. And the speech bubbles are kind of mixed up, so you don't know if it's Luke talking or if it's the Inquisitor talking. It's kind of hard to follow. So I found it being a little bit messy. I think there could have been another page or two to space things around to see exactly what's happening. Because at one point I'm thinking, oh, is Luke Skywalker the Inquisitor? Or was he posing as an Inquisitor in a disguise and he pulls out a green lightsaber? I was very confused at what was happening in those last couple panels here of the book. But the good news is we get another book next week. I love this bi-weekly, in some cases weekly release order of the Battle of Jakku, because we're going to see exactly what's going to happen between this awesome duel between Luke Skywalker and an Inquisitor. I mean, how cool is that? Just the idea of that. Another cool callback here is a ship that looks just like the Ebon Hawk, which is the Revan ship, the cargo ship in Knights of the Republic. Really cool stuff to see there. But overall, really enjoyed this comic. It's really setting the bar high for this big ensemble book that is really taking everything together in all of our favorite characters and giving them some awesome stuff to get into. But that's everything that came out this week. What'd you think about the comics? Let me know in the comment section down below. For more on Star Wars, you're already in the right place. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the Starrapter YouTube channel for more on Star Wars and more than that. That's going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always.
Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.